Facebook boss says it helped Donald Trump win in 2016 but not because of Russia, and says he got elected because he ran the single best digital ad campaign I've ever seen from any advertiser. Period. A top Facebook official said the social media site was responsible for President Trump's win, but that's because he and his team were good at using it. He got elected because he ran the single best digital ad campaign I've ever seen from any advertiser. Period, wrote Facebook's Andrew Bosworth. Bosworth's post was supposed to be read internally, but instead was leaked to the New York Times in a meandering memo. Bosworth, a liberal, said he's been tempted to use Facebook against Trump, but Lord of the Rings stopped him. He recalled how Frodo Baggins offered the powerful ring to Galadriel as a force for good. She imagines using the power righteously at first, but knows it will eventually corrupt her. Bosworth wrote by Nikki Schwab, Senior Use political reporter for DailyMail.com, published 0:17 Greenwich Mean Time, the 8th of January 2020, updated 3 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, the 8th of January 2020. A top Facebook official said the social media site was responsible for President Trump's 2016 election, but because his campaign was good at using it, so was Facebook responsible for Donald Trump getting elected? I think the answer is yes, but not for the reasons anyone thinks, wrote Facebook's Andrew Bosworth in a Facebook post. He got elected because he ran the single best digital ad campaign I've ever seen from any advertiser. Period. Bosworth serves as Facebook's augmented and virtual reality vice president and meant for his meandering memo to be read internally and not leaked to the New York Times. Facebook's Andrew Bosworth released a lengthy post he wrote about 2020 to the public after it was leaked to the press. In it he says Facebook was responsible for President Trump's 2016 victory, but said it's because Trump and his team used the social network expertly. Andrew Bosworth, Facebook's augmented and virtual reality vice president, wrote a long-winded internal Facebook post about the 2016 election and looking to 2020, which was leaked to the media. Andrew Bosworth argued that President Trump was helped by Facebook in the 2016 race, but not because of Russia, disinformation of Cambridge Analytica. Instead, the Facebook boss said that Brad Parscale, pictured, who now serves as President Trump's 2020 campaign manager, and Trump did a great job at using the platform, reached the intended audiences to win votes. Since then, he published the whole thing on a public-facing Facebook account, adding a few new notes at the top, explaining he feared context collapse. Overall, I hoped this post would encourage my coworkers to continue to accept criticism with grace as we accept the responsibility we have overseeing our platform, he explained. The original post is entitled Thoughts for 2020, and talks a lot about how while the media may have gotten details wrong when reporting on Facebook, that doesn't mean the bigger picture criticisms weren't warranted. One trap I sometimes see people falling into is to dismiss all feedback when they can invalidate one part of it, Bosworth wrote. The media has limited information to work with by our own design, he pointed out. Bosworth then touched on Russian interference, fake news, type information that was spread, and the dataset harvested by Cambridge Analytica, 3 areas connected to Facebook and the 2016 presidential election, where the social media site has taken some heat, that naturally led to a discussion of the Trump campaign's use of the site. He didn't get elected because of Russia or misinformation or Cambridge Analytica, Bosworth argued, listing 3 ways Facebook's platform is sometimes blamed for helping the GOP candidate, but Parscale and Trump just did unbelievable work, the Facebook head continued, referencing the president's digital director turned 2020 campaign manager. They weren't running misinformation or hoaxes. They weren't micro-targeting or saying different things to different people. They just used tools we had to show the right creative to each person. The use of custom audiences, video, e-commerce and fresh creative remains the high watermark of digital ad campaigns in my opinion, Bosworth added. Andrew Bosworth, at a product launch in September 2018, used a Lord of the Rings reference to explain why Facebook shouldn't tilt the scales against President Trump during the 2020 election cycle. The Facebook boss then talked about his own politics, explaining he was no fan of the current president and had maxed out his donations to Trump's 2016 rival, Democrat Hillary Clinton. After his election, I wrote a post about Trump supporters that I'm told caused colleagues who had supported him to feel unsafe around me. I regret that post and deleted shortly after, he confessed. He added that as a committed liberal I find myself desperately wanting to pull any lever at my disposal to avoid the same result, so what stays my hand, Bosworth mused. I find myself thinking of the Lord of the Rings at this moment, he said. specifically when Frodo offers the ring to Galadriel and she imagines using the power righteously, at first, but knows it will eventually corrupt her, as tempting as it is to use the tools available to us to change the outcome. I am confident we must never do that or we will become that which we fear, Bosworth said. Read more. Let's block ads. Why?